This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks do what they're supposed to do against the Washington Wizards. And they defeat them 120-99 as the Knicks, they get back-to-back wins, as Cooking with Chef Zay just said in the chat. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and they're now 1-1 in tournament play. So what looked a little bit shaky earlier in the season now is looking pretty good from the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Again, they defeat the Wizards 120-99, although there were a few points throughout the game where the Knicks kind of let them back in the game, right? But hey, that's going to happen. The Knicks have, throughout the season, taken double-digit leads and then giving a lead back. But they were just too much for the Wizards tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks are now 2 games above 500 at 7-5. Yeah, I feel good about what I saw tonight for the most part. Maybe there was some turnover issues on a couple of occasions, but the Knicks took care of business, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to remind you, you already know, the channel's been demonetized, so if you can support the channel, please go ahead and support the channel. Hit us on the Cash App. Cash App is $, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but Knicks. You can also hit us on PayPal, paypal.me/nothing-but-Knicks. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and start breaking this thing down, taking a look at the box score for tonight. The Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson with 32 points on the night. And Jalen Brunson was doing his thing. He was Captain Clutch. We already know why I'm saying he was Captain Clutch, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Brunson was Captain Clutch. He didn't really have to be Captain Clutch tonight. He was just clutch because he was hooping, to be honest with you. He didn't have to be Captain Clutch. The Knicks took care of business the way that they're supposed to take care of business. But down the stretch of the game, when it was about a 10-point game, Jalen Brunson knocks down a 3. Jalen Brunson, even before there was a 10-point game, when the game was below 10, Jalen Brunson knocks down a mid-range jump shot. He was hot all night long. Shot 43.5% from the field and 60% from the free throw line. He was 6 for 6. I'm sorry, he shot 60% from the three-point line, and he was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. That's Jalen Brunson on the night. Emmanuel Quickley was our second scorer for the Knicks. 27 points for Quickley. Came up big. 55% from the field. 43% from the three-point line. 4 for 5 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Only 1 turnover for Emmanuel Quickley. Julius Randle had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. He did have 6 turnovers tonight. He shot 50% from the field. He only shot 20% from the three-point line, and he only shot 50% from the free throw line. But he shot the ball efficiently. Shot the ball efficiently tonight. Other people who showed up, Mitchell Robinson, 6 points, 8 rebounds. Dante DiVincenzo had 12 points in the first half. He ended up with 14 points and 4 rebounds. Dante DiVincenzo, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't look too bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. He didn't look too bad in that lineup. Just saying. Just saying. He didn't look too bad. I'm not, it doesn't mean that Quentin Grimes is going to start, but I think Tom Thibodeau probably has a little bit more comfort after seeing him tonight in that lineup. Isaiah Hartenstein, 3 points, 8 rebounds. Miles McBride got to play. Evan Fournier. There was an Evan Fournier sighting tonight. He was only 1 for 6 from the field. 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. Right? But he came out and he played enough of a role to ensure that the Knicks had depth. Let's put it like that. And if Grimes and RJ continue to be out tomorrow, Evan Fournier will probably play tomorrow. Good move from Tom Thibodeau. Surprised me that Evan Fournier saw the floor. His first action of the season for Evan Fournier. The first action of the season. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, shot 49.5% from the field. They shot 42.1% from the three-point line. When you're shooting the ball that way, you're gonna play well. The team's gonna play well, no doubt about it. 70% from the free throw line were the Knicks. The Knicks 40 points in the paint, the Wizards 46. 17 second chance points for the Knicks, the Wizards 9. The Knicks only 4 fast break points, but you know what? They didn't need to play that fast. And I was listening to the telecast from the Washington Wizards color commentary guys. And what they continue to talk about is that the Knicks wanted to play a little bit slower. They did not want the Washington Wizards to get out and run. We talked about that during the game preview, that the Knicks probably want to slow the pace a little bit. They did. They ran when they had the opportunity to. Still scored 120 points. Kept the Washington Wizards to 99 points. The Knicks, right now, are the best team in the league at keeping opponents' score down. I can't think of the right words to say. Right? But they're only giving up like 102 points per game. The best team in the league at doing that right now. I'm not sure if they're the best defense yet, but at least top 5. Probably top 3. Teams have a hard time scoring against the Knicks. The Wizards only 32 rebounds tonight, 25 assists. I mean, the Wizards, they didn't come in rebounding the ball a heck of a lot, but only 32 tonight. 25 assists for the Wizards, 4 steals for the Wizards, 4 blocks, 14 turnovers for the Wizards. The Knicks only 10 turnovers, 6 blocks for the Knicks, 5 steals, 26 assists for the New York Knicks. And I can get used to the Knicks playing this kind of basketball. You know what I mean? That's without a doubt. I can definitely get used to it. Playing good, solid basketball. Let me get my guy Tony Crow in the building. All right. T. Crow, what's popping with you, my brother? How are you feeling after the Knicks, get a nice win over the Washington Wizards tonight?
I'm feeling good, Sim. I am feeling good. Nice team win. All around effort around, all the players play well. I got to shout out Dante DiVincenzo. Came on strong in that first half, but his defense was solid all game long.
Yeah.
Like his defense was solid all game long. So that's what I was looking for when, with him in the starting lineup. How's his defense going to be? It wasn't a tough test of an assignment in the sense that it's the Wizards, but Poole he could go off. He hasn't had a good year this year, but we've seen what he did to us in preseason. Mm-hmm. And he handled his own. You gotta appreciate that.
Yeah, and I maybe seen once or twice when he got posted up. Right? I think by Denny. He got posted up by Denny, maybe somebody else, I'm not sure. But for the most part, he handled his own. and he did what he's supposed to do out there. He knocked down 3-point shots when they were open, and that's why he was the perfect fit in that starting unit when Quentin Grimes went down, because of his ability to catch and shoot, right? Catch it on his toes and let it go. But he also showed his athleticism with the putback dunk.
That was nasty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It surprised, a lot of people. I'm sure there's people out there that didn't follow Dante DiVincenzo that said, wait a minute, this guy can get up like that. You know what I mean?
Knew, Sam. It didn't surprise you.
No, it didn't. It didn't. I was waiting for one to happen, but I think we'll see even better ones. I think we'll see even better ones. You know what I mean? But yeah, a good all-around win from the Knicks. The Knicks, Tom Thibodeau kept the minutes under control for the most part tonight, partly due to the Knicks blowing them out. Well, it wasn't a blowout the entire game. It was a blowout. It started to be a blowout. Then the Wizards came back. Then the Knicks would take it up to 15, 17. Then the Wizards came. Sometime in the fourth quarter, it was like a 6-point game. So it was,
And you got to credit Tibbs for that. You know what I mean? Like, on any other circumstance with guys out, you know what I mean? He's gonna. We joked about it. 6-man rotation or something. You know what I mean? We joked about it because he don't play around with his guys, especially when he's down guys.
He don't mess around, right? So, you know what I'm saying? And tonight it was, this was a time, where he probably came in thinking, I'm going to have to use my guys, right? I'm going to use Evan Fournier. But the test came when the game got close. You know what I'm saying? Well, you still going to say, all right, I'm still going to use Evan Fournier. Or do you panic up? Say, nah, forget that. But he kept him out there. Evan Fournier played 15 minutes tonight. Miles McBride played 14 minutes tonight. And that's good numbers for Evan Fournier. Kudos to Evan Fournier for staying ready. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but, he made a couple of plays. And he filled his role, the best that he could do on the night. And if he plays a few more games, he'll probably have a couple of nights.
And his defense was good.
He played decent defense.
Like he wasn't a target.
Yeah. Right. Played decent defense. Big shout out to Charles Johnson earlier today. I put the wrong one up there. Excuse me. Earlier today, my man Charles Johnson hit me with a Cash App. There we go. Let me take that down. We'll talk about that play later on. Shout out to Charles Johnson. Earlier today, Charles Johnson hit me with a Cash App, and I didn't get a chance to thank him. So thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. All right. And, ladies and gentlemen, support the channel. Cash App. $ nothing but Knicks. You know what I mean? Go ahead and support the channel. Anything about tonight that really that stuck out to you at all?
I mean, other than the turnovers, Randle looked really good. Especially distributing the ball. I didn't get I heard you say he had 8, but when I was like trying to reference, I was like, I knew he had at least 8 because he was really, really finding the targets tonight. And Brunson on fire from 3. And then listening to the Knicks telecast, quickly is now 5th or tied for 4th for most 20-point games off the bench. He's tied with Al Harrington. And
Al Harrington?
Is it Al?
You mean ever? Are you saying ever?
For the Knicks.
Oh, for the Knicks. Okay, I'm wondering. I'm like, wait a minute. Al Harrington made a return?
No. Ever for the Knicks.
For the Knicks. Okay.
So I think Starks is ahead of him. He passed Jamal Crawford. He passed Nate Robinson. It's Starks and somebody else ahead of him. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank now. But yeah. 27.
Jamal Crawford, maybe? No, Jamal Crawford was the starter.
He passed him. Crawford had like 20 point games off the bench.
As a Knick?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Emmanuel quickly, he's doing it. 27 points tonight. You know what I mean? He's got to be right now maybe the number one scorer off the bench in the league. I know he was 2 just a couple of days ago. You know, he might have taken that over now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but listen, the Knicks were gonna need Emmanuel quickly to step up tonight. We knew that, and he did. Right? He stepped up and he played a hell of a basketball game. You know, you can't take it away from him. 27 points. What is it? 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover on the night.
Yeah, he would be my player of the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. Let me get to a phone call real quick. Caller, you live. Name me where you're from, please.
What's going on, fellas? It's Nick in Jersey City.
Nick, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Peace.
Doing great. What a win. Big win. They needed this one. Quickly was awesome.
Yeah, man. You know, quickly back in his hometown, or at least close to his hometown. You know what I'm saying? Quickly is you know, proving that he's worth the money.
Yeah, and he's proven that, you know, he's it's not a given that we want to get rid of this guy.
Right.
I know he plays the same position as Brunson and whatnot, but when those two guys are on the court at the same time, we're pretty dangerous. And I just, you know, that's what you want out there, man. At the end of the big game, I want Brunson and Quickly out there together, you know. And he could defend. He could defend too. It's not like we lose a step really with Grimes out. You know, he's as good of a defender as Quentin Grimes. He's just exceptional.
Yeah, he's doing it, man. He's playing great basketball so far this season. Any thoughts on anybody else?
Well, I was looking at the roster. I mean, I don't want to go the whole thing here, but you know, I know a lot of fans place a lot of emphasis on the awards. You know, Quickly got snubbed with the 6th man last year. I was looking at Mitchell Robinson. You know, I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. on Memphis has won Defensive Player of the Year before it. Mitchell Robinson's career numbers are better than his. You know, I mean, Mitchell Robinson's basically Defensive Player of the Year so far this season. He's just unbelievable. Mitchell Robinson's been playing. You know, Brunson, Randle. I mean, if they're playing at all-star, all-NBA level, and then you got R.J. Barrett. I know he's got the migraine issue, but it's like he's playing like he could potentially one day maybe be an all-star. You know, like he's showing that leap. I mean, we got the roster now. Everybody's talking about they got to go out and get a star. I feel like everybody's saying that word star is so subjective. If these guys had these little asterisk awards next to their name, everybody would be looking at this roster going, we got the roster right now, you know? Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about the Knicks going to get a guy because we got the assets to go get a guy, but I can't envision a realistic move that the Knicks can make where it would be obvious that they would get better. I think we got the team. We got the team. And then you got, you know, DiVincenzo, you got Hartenstein. I don't want to get rid of these guys. Hart, perfect intangible guy off the bench. I mean, we got the rotation right now. We got the team that we should roll with. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
So do you think this team could potentially, I don't want to say could potentially, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, is potentially a championship caliber team? As constructed, do you think that they are a potential championship contender?
Yeah, and I'll say why. I do feel that way. Because I think that this team could push any team in the league to at least 6 games in a series. And I think if you could do that, you got a shot of winning the series. I think any team with Jalen Brunson can go 4-3 in any 7-game stretch against any team in the NBA. That's what I think. And I think last year that the Knicks, when they changed that rotation on December 4th, 2022, they played 3/4 of a season at 53 win pace basketball, which was 5th best in the NBA for 3/4 of the season. And they didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals, but they very well could have made the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think if they did, they probably would have pushed Boston to at least 6 games. And, you know, last year they were 3rd in offensive net rating. This year they're 4th or 3rd in offense, in defensive net rating.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best rebounding team in the league by far. I mean, this is not a bad team. This is a top 5 NBA team in the league, and I'm tired of pretending otherwise. Everybody's talking about all these other teams. They don't scare me. Nobody in the league scares me as a Knicks fan.
So
that's how I feel, and that's not a homer opinion. I feel like I feel justified in that opinion. Watching this team play team basketball.
Okay, let me ask you this: if there's anything that the Knicks need to do to catapult themselves into that championship contention, this team as currently constructed, what do they need to do? Or is there a small piece that they need to add that would catapult them into championship contention, in your opinion?
Not if they're going to keep the rotation of 9 men. I guess, theoretically, if they could do a 2-for-1 trade and trade like 2 bench pieces for another guy. But I mean, you never know how that's going to work with chemistry. I think they got the 9 guys, and there's nothing obvious to me. There's no move obvious to me that they go, oh yeah, we got to make that move. We got to get rid of this guy. I want to see Quentin Grimes be more aggressive on offense, but we know what he can do on offense. His lack of offensive productivity is not because he's bad. It's because he's 23. It's because he's playing with the starters. It's because he's guarding the best team on the other, the best player on the other team every night. It's a circumstantial thing. Quentin Grimes is not a scrub. He's a great player. He's a good player. He's an ascending player, and he'll get there in terms of his offensive output. But R.J. Barrett has taken that leap. Quickly, he's already taken that leap. He took that leap last season, in my opinion, and he's taken another leap this year. And what can we do? I mean, just keep it together. And I think I probably want to see more quickly, and just keep Randle playing the way he's playing the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
With his headspace, getting his head in the game. When he plays the way he does, when he keeps the turnovers low, and when he just takes it to the hole, it's very, very hard to beat the Knicks. It really is. We're in every single game. I'm not trying to get too high on it. I understand we're playing a bad team today. I'm just talking about the way they move the ball, the way they play together, how serious the team is every single night. That was impressive a couple nights ago in Atlanta when they were down. I thought that game was over. And then they came back right away, and they went on an 8-0 or 10-0 run, take control of the game back again. It's like this team doesn't die. And, let the rest of the league talk about, oh, they need this guy. They're not a championship. Let them sleep on us, because I'm looking at Milwaukee right now, and I think they went from one of the top defensive teams in the league to one of the worst defensive teams in the league because they made that trade. And with all due respect to Damian Lillard, I think they took a step back. They broke up what was a championship team. They have no perimeter defense now, and I don't fear the Milwaukee Bucks. I look at Boston Celtics, and the Knicks play the Knicks are 7-6 against the Celtics since Thibodeau became the head coach with the Knicks, right? And that's including the last 2 losses. And pretty much all 6 of those losses have been games where the Knicks could have won. The Knicks played Boston very well, so I don't fear Boston. And those are supposedly the 2 teams in the East that are going to win the championship. So give me a break.
Okay. Hey, Nick, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, man. It's the time for hype. The season for hype right now.
I'm feeling it. Hey, Nick, I appreciate the input, the thought. I don't know if I'm totally there yet with the team, but I love what we have, though. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I love what we have. I love what we have. Nick, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the time.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Hey, the only thing I would say to his comment is, because I think everything he said was spot on.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as being a contender right now, the only thing that I think that we're missing is just more seasoning. You know what I mean? More chemistry, more like another year. If we keep developing though, and RJ can, like, if this is the RJ we're gonna get all year, what we've seen so far this year, you know what I mean? And then quickly continue to grow. He's grown every year. You know what I mean? Mitchell Robinson is probably looking the best he's looked ever. You know what I mean? So if the trajectory continues, I would agree that we could become a contender.
Okay.
But we still got to go through, you know what I mean? We only had 2 playoff series. You know what I mean? First one was not very well. Second time we got in, we improved.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the course for me. Like, we got to continue to grow.
Right.
So maybe we get to the conference finals and make it a tough series. You know what I mean? But then we got another hurdle to get over.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it. But I think everything he said was spot on.
Okay. I feel like if the Knicks are going to make it to the championship ever with this current roster, then they need somebody, like they need Julius Randle to be big in the clutch with Jalen Brunson, right? Because if it's just Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle disappears in those playoff moments, big game moments in the clutch, then I don't know if we would have enough. Julius Randle's got to step his game up to that level, regardless of what his points per game are throughout the season or anything. And those moments is when we need him to step up and make those big shots, make those big plays, etc.
Only thing I would say to that, Sim, is he doesn't definitively have to be a finisher. So because I feel like if we go to him down the stretch, they still gonna double team him. So it's really about him making them the right reads. I think that's what he's been very good at this whole year. You know what I mean? If nothing else, is really just reading the defense. So and then I would add that I feel like Quickly is capable of being that second closer, you know what I mean, as far as like the shot maker. But Randle, if he could manipulate the defense down the stretch and find a Brunson and find a Quickly, and then if RJ is playing the way he's been playing, we might even throw him in there.
I mean, I just feel like, you know, that defense gets so tough in the playoffs. You know what I mean? You need a big body that can knock people out the way and get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? And I think Randle has to be that guy that can do that. Because like when you get deep in the playoffs and you're playing the Miamis and, you know, deep in the playoffs or Boston, like it's gonna get physical. It's gonna be blood. It's gonna be bloodshed. So I feel like, you know, Randle, and I'm not saying that RJ and Quickly wouldn't be able to do it, because I think they could, but I think the Knicks are gonna need Randle too, because those are gonna be some bruising games. If the Knicks had Randle against Miami last year, they had him. If he actually, when you look back at it though, he, you know, a few of those games he played well. He did. He played well, but in those close moments, he didn't come up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But maybe we do got the pieces. Ron, what do you think?
Yeah, it's Kappa Psi, man. It's a deep sigh on this one. I mean, maybe we do. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Sim. Appreciate you, brothers, as always. I am making my rounds today. I took the day off. I've been everywhere. Morning Brew Sports. I've been on Uncle Freezy's show. I watched the game with Jerry Ferrara and the boys, and now I'm here. I said, listen, I don't always take the day off. I'm gonna do everything I can. So
that's what's up. Well, nice to have a day off, man. It's always nice to have a day.
Yeah. I'm really excited about the team. I think like it's just little things, nuances of the game, and just little things that I'm noticing that I just wasn't noticing a year and a half ago or even early last year, that I'm like, I don't know if everybody else sees it that way, but like even this game tonight, this game was a back and forth. It was a must win for me, for the Knicks, because this is something you should win. Like, this is not, I mean, that team stinks over there. They're 2-9 for a reason. Now they're 2-10.
Right.
Like, we definitely should beat up on them. Not only because we should beat up on them, it's an in-season game, so we got to get on the right track there. It's the first game of a back-to-back. Like, there's so many reasons for us to beat the Wizards tonight, so I'm glad they got it done, right? Yeah. But the other thing that I liked about it is the game was close for the most of the part, and then we get in the fourth quarter and we start to pull away. I don't think this same Knicks team is pulling away prior to Jalen Brunson being here, but more importantly, prior to the trade for Josh Hart. This team just didn't have that killer instinct. They didn't know how to finish games in the fourth quarter or to extend leads against weaker competition. And I think now this team has that, and that's what's, to me, is because I can't even give credit to Thibodeau. I'm not taking it away from him, but I feel like it's about what you do as a coach, but you also got to have the right players. And I think the Knicks finally have the right players for certain things to get done, whereas the Knicks are a good team and no one should question it. Just got to give them a little time and get through this craziness of a beginning opening schedule with all these back-to-backs and all these games played within a certain number of days. But I'm telling you, I feel like watch out, man. I feel like as this thing keeps going, I think the Knicks are going to go on a nice run.
I mean, they're on a nice run, with at least a decent run
and this
right
is
now.
Within all of this.
Right now, within it all, they're on it. I mean, they're 7-5 on the season. They've won 5 of the last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they got 2 guys down right now. You know what I mean? So they're on a pretty good run right now. And they'll have a chance to extend that run tomorrow against, who is it? Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte. Yeah, they have a chance to extend that run. So, yeah, I'm feeling good, and I think we should all be feeling good about what we're seeing from the Knicks right now. I know. I'll come back to you in just a second. Let me get to a phone call here, and then I'll come back to you. All right. Big shout out to Robert. He said, for the love of the show, thank you for the cash app. I definitely appreciate it. All right. And for anybody that wants to support the channel, $sign nothing but Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to a phone call here. Caller, you're live. Name and where you're from, please.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
My name is Angel. I'm from Brooklyn, Sunset Park, living in Bayside, Queens right now.
What's going on with you, man?
I want to get back to what you were asking, Nick. The one thing I think that the Knicks are missing, if there's one thing that can catapult us, is length.
Okay.
We're not the biggest team. So, if we want to hang with the juggernauts like Denver, and I'm going to put Boston there, whether we like it or not, they're a great team. And they got that length. So if we can pick up some length, I think that's the one thing that can push us, catapult us to the next level. And I agree. I believe we're a top 5, 6 team in the league. I just want to keep it short. I just wanted to answer that. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the call.
Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Angel. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, length. That's what I keep seeing in the chat. That's where seeing from everybody. We need more length. We need more length. Where do we get this length from? Because if everyone likes the team, right? Where do we get this length from without disrupting the team? Where's it come from? I don't know where it comes from.
That's $1 million question right there. I don't know, Sim.
I don't know
how you do it without disrupting the team.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it without disrupting the team. And to be honest with you, if they continue to play at a high level, I don't think that they would make a move just because people are like, hey, we need more length. I don't think they would make a move. I think they would say, let's play this out and see what happens. Because I just don't know where you get it from without disrupting the team. I don't know.
It's tough, man. Unless you're able. No, I just, the only thing I could think is possibly if this Knicks team continues to play the way they're playing, despite not having the length, they're playing really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
If they're able to somehow get to the trade deadline and some suitor comes a knocking for Fournier, maybe we can get a 6'7", 6'8" person from that team in exchange for Fournier. But I don't know. That's a tough one to ask. That's I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
that's where you might have to throw a pick in.
I think for the first time, those guys are like really a premium. So even if you have those guys on your team, for the most part, even if they're like situational on another team, they're not willing to let them go or let them go easily. And then a lot of teams, are paying those guys bags even before they become who we think they could become. You know what I mean? Just because of it, I think that it's a premium for them right now.
Yeah.
It's more likely to get a vet at that size than it is a young guy. That's basically what I'm saying.
Let me ask this. What is it about the length? And I think I know the answer, but I want to know what you guys think. What is it about the length that is so important? The Knicks are rebounding the ball well, right? They're obviously defending well without the length. So what is it that the length is going to do for this team that we are not already doing?
Well, I would say
Okay.
I would say the biggest challenge that we've faced, as far as a team, with a lot of length, was Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We beat them, right? We won that game. So
This year,
I mean,
you mean this season?
this season we didn't play them
No,
yet.
we haven't played them yet.
Okay.
We played them during this stretch.
Okay, they're coming. So what I'm saying is we haven't really played anybody with where I feel like it may affect us. You know what I mean? And it's really not too many teams that I would be worried about. But Minnesota, they got a lot of length in the backcourt, small forwards, etc. Who's the other team? Now I'm drawing a blank. But there's only like Denver is another team that's you know what I mean, really tall, big out there. So it's maybe like 4 or 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, I think we could take our chance the way we are, because even like, what's the chances of us going through the playoff run and facing 3 of these teams that may give us problems because of their length, because of their you know what I mean, size. So I think we can get by, but if we're gonna bump into a Denver or you know what I mean, one of these taller teams, it may end up being a problem.
Okay, Ron, what do you think? What is the thing about the length?
I mean, honestly, I'm softening my stance on the length thing because the Knicks are playing high level defense. So it's like you say different things that a team needs because you look at a deficiency that you haven't been able to fulfill, right? But then you got to look at how your team is playing. So I can't keep complaining and saying I need this if we are doing something in spite of that and probably better than we were last year.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know. The only thing is I could see length being an issue. Like, length to me would be important for the playoffs because you don't know who you're going to match up against. And if you want to try to make a deep, far run, it could be a situation where that is the difference. Like Knicks, sometimes it doesn't matter, but in some cases, if the Knicks play solid defense and say the Knicks play the perfect basketball game, they got the offense clicking, they're playing solid defense, and they're going up against another team that has the Jason Tatums on it, or I don't know, whoever. Even if you have length, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be able to stop a star player like Jason Tatum. And shout out to Freezy because he brought this up. Whether the guy is 6 foot who's guarding him or 6'7" who's guarding him, he's a star player. He knows how to shoot over you. So I don't know if it makes that big of a difference, but I do know that to me, length only matters in those situations where you played the best you can play. They've played the best you can play. It comes down to those final moments in games where you need big shots, and maybe length deters some of those shots. That's that's the only thing I can see.
Right. When I'm thinking about the length, I'm obviously thinking about the defense because it does become, it can become an issue. But I'm thinking more in the vein of a guy, and we were talking about it before, Tony, right? When I think it was Scott Perry said the Knicks need that shot creator. I'm thinking more in the vein of a guy that's 6'6" or 6'7", 6'8", that can create in the mid-range, right? Jalen Brunson is good at doing it. He's the only guy. I don't even think Julius Randle is that good at it, right? When Julius Randle, he can score in the mid-range, but if you notice when Julius Randle scores in the mid-range, he has to bump his guy. He has to get down low, bump his guy, and then fade back and shoot. It's not I'm facing up, jab, step, and then I can pull up like a Melo would do. Right?
I was waiting for you to be done. Be like, I know what it is. We just miss Melo. That's what it is.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not that kind of mid-range scoring that he's able to do. He's got to feel the contact first. That sets him off into his rhythm, and then he can get the shot off. You know, and so I think we need a guy that can do that. You know, that can catch the ball in that mid-post area, you know, from time to time. And he doesn't have to be a leading scorer on your team or any of that. Just a guy, when you need to get a bucket in that area, when teams are playing, you know, this zone type of defense, and you know, it's hard to penetrate the zone. Maybe we're not hitting our outside shots. You know what I'm saying? And so that interior defense becomes even more effective. You got a guy that can consistently post up in that mid-range and knock down shots. You know what I'm saying? And soften up the defense a little bit more. Maybe now they gotta you know, change their strategy a little bit. I think that's something that we're missing a little bit. You know, because even Brunson, he has a great mid-range shot, but he's got to go. You know, he's not just gonna catch the ball, be able to post up because of his height. You know, he's got to come off screens, take a couple of little dribbles, boop, 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 and then pull up. You know what I mean? Which is tough when you have a defense queuing in. You know what I'm saying? Now those spaces get smaller and smaller when you can have a guy that I'm going to throw him the ball. You know, it might be kind of boring because he's standing and holding it for a little while, but they're cluttering the paint. You know, he can knock down that shot, you know, from time to time. And that's where I'm envisioning one of those guys that has that kind of length and where he could benefit the team. You know, and I don't think it has to be a star. Just someone who can do it during those moments. You know, like Joe Johnson is too old now. But when Joe Johnson was like on his last legs in the NBA and, you know, he could still do some things, he would that's what he would have done. You would have said, okay, you know what? He got, you know, a few minutes throughout the game. He's still kind of warm. We could throw him in that situation and let him get a couple of shots up. You know, someone like that who used to be that guy, but can hit some big shots in those moments, you know, even if he's only getting 12, 13 minutes a game. That would have been Melo, but he's not playing that. You know, he's watching.
Maybe that's why they say the Knicks are interested in Bogdanovich.
Maybe, you know. Let me get to this phone call real quick. Then I was
gonna say I'll give them they pick back.
Yeah, let me get to this phone call. Caller, could you make sure you turn the sound down in the background so we don't get any feedback or anything. Caller, you're live. Name it where you're from, please.
My name is Al. I'm from Jersey.
What's going on, Al, from Jersey?
I'm an old school guy who watched the Knicks back in '69 when everybody doesn't remember that championship game was tape delayed. So I always remember my old Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you were just talking about somebody who could hit that mid-range. You could try DeRozan in that spot, see if you want to trade, Grimes and maybe Fournier for DeRozan. That would be your guy. And as for the one with length,
mm-hmm.
again, you got a team across the river that has all these forwards. You got Dorian Smith. You got Ross O'Neal. I mean, there go your guys with your length if you want to make a trade there. But I don't know if the Knicks would do that. Okay? And if I could add one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a problem with Randle. To me, you may think I'm crazy, but if he were just to stay on the high post, the foul line, and create from there, instead of having him from the three-point line and he's a turnover happening when he starts from out there, but if you could just set him up on the high post, make him be like a threat, he could be a poor man's Jokic if he just learned how to pass wrong, because he's going to get double teamed, and if he would just think pass first on that and just shoot the foul shot jumpers or bully his way into the drive, he'd be great. I want to know what you think about that. All right, guys? Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
I think that's the problem that you was referring to, though. He can't. I don't want to say he can't, but he don't shoot that foul line jump shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he did that, if that was part of his arsenal, I agree.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot that foul. But the thing is, I think he does, when he's getting the ball there, he does look to pass. Right? He does, sometimes go to the basket to score. Right? But I think when he tries to penetrate from there, he's looking to see who he can kick the ball out to. I think his biggest fault in that area is sometimes not kicking it fast enough and holding it a little bit too long. You know what I mean? And now it's tougher to get a pass off. I think tonight he got it off a little bit faster a few times to Brunson. I thought he, made those passes a little bit quicker. Was doing a better job reading to see that the defense is coming, and not getting that pass off late. But, I think he does look to pass from that position when he gets the ball there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think, Ron?
Man, I think he's been doing a much better job. I think the whole team has been doing a much better job looking for other guys on the floor. I've never seen the Knicks be this unselfish since I've been watching them under Tom Thibodeau. So, and if you see, once he's going, I don't know. I like the fact that once he's been going lately, he's still been he's been getting high assist totals. It's not like he's just going for self and it's just he's forgetting it. He's still distributing the ball. So I kind of think the way he's playing right now and what he's doing out there, I'm okay with what I'm seeing. I don't know if I want to try to get him to do something that I don't know. He just seems like he's not comfortable with. We already know he doesn't love being down on the box. So I think just this free flowing way he's playing, I would just continue to watch him do that. The only thing I would say that you need to be mindful of is not what happened tonight, but more importantly, I think it was the last game. Was it the last game? I think it was the last game. If I'm mistaken, it could be the game prior, but I think it was the last game. Just giving him the ball and watching the shot clock go down, and putting him in a position where that's old Julius. That's what we saw before Brunson. We didn't like it. So we needed to get a real point guard here to avoid that and to put him back in that situation that he starts doing that stuff again and with losing possessions because he didn't take the first shot. And then, he kind of resets and he's backing down and he's stumbling and bumbling because the defense is keyed on him. Like that type of stuff with the shot clock running out, we don't need to see that.
Right.
That you can get away with. I mean, get rid of it. But everything else, I think I'm okay with Randle, what he's doing right now. We would love to see him. And the other thing is, he is, when he needs to be, he's still being physical, trying to get his way back into the paint and use his strength. So I'm liking that. I don't think he's settling for the jump shot. I don't know. I just can't see anything I'd change other than that from what he's doing. I just don't touch him. Let him keep going.
Yeah, and what you just said in the paint, this is where I think the length hurts the Knicks a little bit more. Because Julius Randle is an undersized power forward, kind of, right? He's got a lot of strength and bulk, but, he doesn't have, his arms aren't really long for, a power forward. Not in today's NBA, and he gets his shot blocked a lot when he's down there because he doesn't have crazy bounce, right? And he doesn't extend to the basket when he's there. He kind of keeps it here, kind of double pumps a lot, and he has trouble inside a lot of times, and maybe that's one of the reasons he's beginning to fade out now. When there's teams that are a little bit smaller, I think sometimes we see him, go inside. He was inside. He played inside a little more tonight, and got some buckets at the basket. Lonely Souls, thank you for the Cash App. You said the Knicks are beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Then the teams that you're not supposed to beat, upset them a couple times throughout the season.
Sim. Expect a call from Josh, but I literally just text that to Josh.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got Josh on the call right now. I know he's on his Bluetooth. I can tell.
Not exactly.
What's popping, man?
What up, Sam, Tony, Ron? How y'all doing? Salute to the MBK fam. Salute to the chat.
Chilling,
Can't
brother.
make the actual pod tonight, but I do feel like calling in. So that's what I'm doing. And no, I'm not on Bluetooth, Sam.
Okay. All right. I was just testing because I heard a little in the back. I thought maybe he was on the Bluetooth.
Nah, that was me getting in my car. But I'll just say this. And the biggest reason why I'm calling is because of this notion, based on what you were saying, Sam, about disrupting the team, right? And I just want to push back on that a little bit. I am someone who is aggressive in a mentality as far as the Knicks improving the roster, and I think we all can agree there's another level for this team to get to, as far as the Eastern Conference and being a contender, right? At some point, the Knicks are going to have to make that move, and that will essentially disrupt the team because you're going to have to get rid of someone, right? My thing is, I think the Knicks can improve the team without necessarily disrupting the team, right? And that doesn't mean go ahead and trade for anybody and just make any trade to trade for a person. And I'm not talking about length, but I think as long as the Knicks keep the majority of their core together, right, you may have to give up one of those players, whether it be RJ, Randle, or Brunson. Brunson's not going anywhere, so it's probably going to have to be either RJ or Randle. As long as we have the majority of the core together, we can make a trade and go improve the roster by bringing in a better player and not disrupt what we have going on as long as we keep the majority of the core together. So I think there is a level for us to get to with making a move to get us to that next level. And I just have this question. How is it that majority of teams that are contending, that have been contending for years, but year in and year out, you see them make certain moves and they're still contending? It's because they have the majority of that core together. So I just want to push back against this notion that I don't see how we can trade for anybody and make any type of moves without disrupting the team. I don't think that we should think that way as a fan base because we all agree that there's another level for this team to get to.
Yeah, but I think you're missing some of the context that Nick from Jersey was saying. He said that he believes this team can become a championship level team as currently constructed.
Well, no. He
Right?
said they are. I said become.
Okay. Yeah, he said he believes, that this team has what it needs. Right?
So I have a question, dude. Does Sam, do you, Tony, and Ron believe that as presently constructed that this roster can get to that level with the current roster that we have right now? I don't personally, but I'm asking you guys. Do you guys believe that?
I'm not sure that they can get there unless Julius Randle does what I was saying to Tony and Ron a little bit earlier. If he can step up and be, he's got it. It can't just be Jalen Brunson scoring in the clutch, making those big plays. And like Tony said, it doesn't always have to be scoring. It could be other ways. But Randle's got to be, he's got to do it. It can't just be Brunson. Or, let me say this. Somebody has to be able to do it consistently every single night with him.
And my response was, if it is this team, it's going to continue to take time. We're going to have to continue to keep getting better. But we're watching this team get better right now. You know what I mean? So my answer was it wouldn't be this year. It would take another year, at least.
Okay, and my whole thing, and I'm not pushing back on that because I do agree this team is getting better. So I'm not pushing back on that, and I'm very pleased with the way this team is playing right now. I'm happy that they won tonight. So let me just get that out the way because I already know fans are going to say Josh wants to trade everybody. The team just won. Why is he doing that? So that's not where I'm coming from with this topic. What I'm saying is, I personally do not believe that this team can get to that next level, like that contending level. We're getting better, but I don't believe that our ceiling is that. Now, again, it goes back to this conversation of what could the Knicks be, right? It could happen. Do you want to just outright dismiss it? However, I think there is a level for this team to get to by making trades, by improving the roster, still keeping some of the main core together to get to that level. And the example that I have is just the majority of the teams that are contending. You got teams like Boston who traded away a piece in Marcus Smart, not a part of their core, but traded away a piece, and they got better by improving the roster, and that team is still contending, right? You got teams that contend year in and year out. Milwaukee, they're going to be a contending team. They traded away an important piece in Drew Holiday. They got Damian Lillard, and they're contending. So I just want to push back, and I understand Knicks fans and the reluctance to break up whatever we have going on right now, because it's like if we break it up, then we just screwed up something that's going to be great. I think that this team right now is different. I believe we are more respectable now than the way we used to be. I believe that there's a culture in the building, and I think as long as that remains there and you're not gutting the entire team, I think there is a way for us to go ahead and make trades with the amount of assets that we have right now in order to improve the team and take us to that next level. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to push back on that notion of, well, I don't want to do anything. I just like where everything is right now. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's going to take us to the next level. And I think that our roster still needs to improve. But I am happy the way the team is playing right now. Can't ask for anything better. But I just want to keep that out there for fans.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Do you any of you guys think there's a scenario where we keep our starting five, or I'll say our starting four? You know what I mean? At the very least, Mitchell, Randle, RJ, Brunson, and can still make a move. Because I think we could still make a move to get better and not have to include RJ, Randle, Mitchell, Robinson, or Brunson. You know what I mean? Because we have the draft capital and we have enough contracts that we can match whatever salary we needed to if it was the big piece. But I don't think it has to be, you know what I mean, a superstar. So
that's where I disagree with you, Tony, because I think in order for the Knicks to get to that next level, they're going to need that type of player. I don't think that player is on the roster right now. To answer your question specifically, I think the contracts are going to have to matter. We can talk about draft picks all we want, but the money has to match in today's CBA, right? So, again, and this is where the whole quickly thing comes in. I'm not trying to go down that road again. We already went down that, me and Tony. But, you're going to have to move somebody that's worth the contract itself. The tangible contract is worth what that player that we're bringing back in. So, as of right now, I don't see it happening. In your scenario, Tony, of us keeping that starting four and bringing in somebody, it's going to have to be a contract, and that will most likely be RJ in that type of scenario. But if that's the case, if we are able to keep that starting four together and bring in that player, I'll be all for it. That'd be great. That'd be a perfect world. But right now, the way the contracts are structured, unless we're talking Fournier and the team is willing to take on that money and all of that, then yeah, we can get it done. But I just don't.
That's 100% what I'm referring to.
But it would have to happen this year, though, Tony. It would have to happen this year. So again, the team is playing well now, but are we going to be able to move Fournier this season? Because he's gone after.
I mean, theoretically, it don't have to be this year, because we have his option. So if we wanted to hold on to him just to have that same scenario moving forward, we could. Just like we could have did that with him and Rose this year. You know what I mean? We could have had Rose right now as well, and those two guys would have been enough to get, you know what I mean, to make up the money for whomever. But they chose not to keep Rose.
But and that's because they didn't want to go into the luxury tax. So then the Knicks are going to play the luxury tax game, and they're going to be into the luxury tax, and then they have to really depend on that move being made. So that's where that part comes in. Again, I think we're all saying the same thing. Like, if we can keep our main four guys together in that starting lineup and bring in somebody to add to it that's of really good value, we would all be for that. We would all jump for that, yesterday. But again, I'm just thinking about the roster and who we have on here as far as their contracts, and are we going to be able to get that move done? And in any event, I still think that even if you break up one of the big four and the starting lineup, and again, I said big four, that's kind of funny that they even say that now, but I think that you can legitimately say that. Even if we break that up and get rid of one of those guys because of the contract, I still think we can get better bringing in a guy to come in, a superstar player that I'm thinking about, to take us to that next level. And we can still have the majority of that core and still be a contending team and do some of the same things that we're doing because we have culture in the building. So that's all I wanted to say. Sim, I appreciate you for taking my call. Thank you. I wish I can be on, but go Knicks, and I'm happy we won. Let's go beat Charlotte tomorrow, and I think I'll be in the house for that.
All right, that's what's up. Appreciate it, Josh.
That's dope. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking. I don't know if we need that superstar type guy now. I just think this team is doing a lot of stuff that's really good, and I think we can build on that. Honestly, I think the perfect person for this team now, and maybe it's because it's early and he's playing well, but it's not going to happen because we've already burned our bridges. OG Anunoby.
Yeah,
I think
those bridges.
the way OG's playing right now and the defense he brings, he's shooting 51% from the field, 39% from three, averaging 16 points per game. I would love to have that on the Knicks right now.
Yeah.
That you add that, and I think we straight.
Yeah. That bridge is burnt. It's crispy. It's ashes. It's ashes. You're gonna have to wade across the water to get to the other side of that one. You know what I mean? And that's as big as the English Channel now.
Can we do a 3-team sneaky trade, Sim?
Something right?
We would have to. We would have to. Like, listen, figure out what y'all need to go get this guy, and we'll double it. you know what I mean? Like,
for real.
Whatever you gotta give, we'll give it right back to you.
Yeah. Shout out to Craig McDonald. Thank you for hitting me on the Cash App. He said, keep doing what you do. I appreciate the work, and we appreciate you being here to support us and listening in. Back to this game, though. Any key plays or key decisions?
I got both.
Okay.
I got two. I got obviously decision to play Deuce, play Fournier. I think that's huge, especially back to back, two guys out.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to Tibbs to opening up the rotation with guys down. My personal play of the game, I'm not sure if it was the third or fourth quarter. I think it was I'm not sure what quarter it was in, but quickly was driving to the basket and found Randle for a cut. It was a crucial moment too. And Randle dunked it. But it's very similar to my play of the game a couple days ago when RJ did the same exact thing. And I was like, yo, last year RJ wouldn't have made that pass.
Right.
Quickly didn't have to make that pass.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Randle, kudos to him for cutting to the basket, right, which we've been asking for a while. So to Ron's credit, I feel like this team is making a conscious effort to find the open guy, whomever it is. You know what I mean? So it's not even about the chemistry between Quickly and Randle or the chemistry. It's like whoever's open, they're finding them. Whoever's cutting, they're making the read. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I mean when I say this team is really getting better. But that particular play from Quickly, that was my play of the game. I was very impressed.
Yeah. Ron, any key plays or decisions that really pop out?
I guess to me, I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought the substitution to bring Randle back in the game when he did, I think mattered a lot because the game was a little close. That unit that he had out there was, I think it was Hart, it was Fournier, it was Deuce, Hartenstein, and DiVincenzo wasn't even out there. It was someone else. I can't remember, but I'm like, the offense there was like,
I remember.
So I was like, this is tough, man. I don't know. I'm like, how long are you going to be able to roll with this unit before things get a little crazy? Yeah. So I think just being able to buy some time with that unit was kind of gutsy. It's something that I don't necessarily in this type of game, even though I know the Knicks felt very good about winning it. I'm shocked that Tibbs ran that unit out there for as long as he did. It wasn't a ton of time, but it was long enough that I'm like, maybe a little too long. So yeah, maybe that's a gutsy one. That was buying some time for everybody to get a little rest, and then bringing them back. So I would say maybe that was
it the fourth
chance.
Was that the fourth?
Oh yeah, it was in the fourth quarter.
Here's the thing, because you're right. Offensively, we look, you know what I mean, not great, but defensively, that same unit was holding their own. You know what I mean? Like, we held them scoreless for over 5 straight minutes. in that fourth quarter. 5 straight minutes. Like, that's something that we've been dealing with in a couple of these past games where we have these 4-minute droughts where we can't get anything. So over 5 minutes in that fourth quarter, you know what I mean? The defense in that fourth was probably the best all year.
Yeah. But I do remember that lineup. I remember the lineup, and I was, they were a little discombobulated, offensively, kind of trying to figure out, it's not a lineup that played together.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, it might have been the third going into the fourth with it, but part of the fourth, but that was right before Quickly turned it on. Because then he got busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He outscored them himself in the fourth.
Yeah. I think my key play really came in the fourth quarter. I have 2 of them, actually, that I thought, put the game out of reach. The first play, with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left, you see Jalen Brunson gets a double screen from Randle and Robinson, and then knocks down the 3. The Knicks were up 10. They went up 13 at this point. And I thought that right there really kind of
timeout was called right after.
Yeah, timeout was called. And then Brunson again comes off a screen. Randle comes back up. He finds Randle. Josh Hart. Randle's at the mid post. Josh Hart is going to cut. And then he finds Quickly. That puts the Knicks up 18 points, I think it was, at that time. And, it was 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game. And it was a wrap. But I thought the first one by Brunson, because the game, it was staying in that 10-point range, and it was, the lead was just small enough where they could strike and make a run. And I thought them going up 13 and then going up 18, in between those 2 shots, Julius Randle hit 2 free throws to put the Knicks up 15, and then Randle to IQ right there put the Knicks up 18, and I thought that was really it right there. And the top 3 players on the night made 3 of the, all participated in 2 of the top plays of the night, in my opinion, that really did put this game away. So that's my, ladies and gentlemen, Cash App money play of the night. And I want to give a shout out to Zay. I don't think it's Chef Zay. It's King New York 90s, New York Knicks 90s. That Zay. He says, Sim, thank you for everything you do. Blessings. I appreciate you, Zay. And, yeah, he made it on the Cash App money play of the night. Big shout out. Made it on the Cash App money play of the night. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
If you got a segment for Hustle Play of the night, I do want to shout out Brunson for diving on that ball. You know what I mean? You talk about our best player diving on the ball, stealing the ball, getting the jump ball, and then winning the jump ball. You know what I mean? So that play right there, that has to inspire everybody else on the team.
Yeah.
When your guy,
that was nice to see.
You know what I mean? When your guy dives on the hardwood floor and, you know what I mean, hustles. I'm sorry, I was trying to avoid a pause.
I mean, and you know what though? That hustle play was kind of in the middle with all, it was around the same time when all that just happened that I just talked about. You know what I mean? It was right there around the same time. The Knicks just took control of that game with 5 minutes left. They just took control as they were supposed to do.
As they did the previous game as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out
as they have been doing.
As they have been doing, right. Shout out to Angel Romaine. Hopefully I said his name correctly. I think he just called in. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. And I do want to remind everybody that we got the Captain Clutch pre-orders available. So please make sure that you check it out. They're on printjurisdiction.com, exclusively on printjurisdiction.com. You're not going to find them anyplace else. Printjurisdiction.com. We got black ones in full color. We got black ones that are in black and white. Now we got blue ones in full color. We got blue ones that have, just the white comic book. We got cream that have like the blue comic book on it. All, there's different colorways, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you go and check those out as soon as you get a chance, and definitely check out everything else that Print Jurisdiction has to offer, because there's some really, really dope. It's got some really dope stuff on there, and you could probably see some of the things behind the Captain Clutch shirt. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a T-shirt. We also have hoodies. And, my man Greg was in the chat earlier today, and he was like, yo, like, y'all charging a lot of money for for these hoodies. But Greg, and anybody else who's probably thinking the same thing, these are really premium, high-quality premium hoodies, premium T-shirts. So you're definitely getting your money's worth, when you buy them. And obviously, there's going to be limited number of these here. You know what I mean? And Jalen Brunson is who knows what he's going to end up being. He's Captain Clutch. Ain't too many people that's Captain Clutch. Here's the blue one. You guys can see the blue one up there on the screen. Let you see what the back looks like. Oh, let me get that back up there. Let you see what the back of the jersey looks, back of the shirt looks like. All right, that's the back of the shirt there. All right, and I'll bring the hoodies up a little bit later. All right. Play the game. Player of the game. Is it Brunson? I mean, he had 32 points. Can it be Captain Clutch? Can it be Captain Clutch who was the player of the game tonight? Or is it somebody else?
For me, it's somebody else. It's the hometown hero. You know what I mean? It's the guy who was playing in front of his mom. It's the guy who had like 50 tickets at the game. You know what I mean? IQ. I'm going with IQ, man. IQ had a stellar fourth quarter. Like I said, he outscored the Wizards by himself in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, IQ was cooking. Ron, you got a player of the game?
Yeah, definitely. I got Daquan Jeffries for just doing the little thing, though. Yeah, I loved what IQ did out there, and I would say IQ definitely helped and was big. But if it wasn't for Brunson, we might be hollering at Sim right now, like, what the hell's wrong with this team? They're supposed to win this game. Like, Brunson to me was huge. Because it's not like we had guys played well, but it's like we needed those big shots during that period when the game got a little too close. I'm like, yo, somebody got to step up, man. Put some fear in these guys over here. And Brunson was that guy. He did enough at that time to kind of give us a comfortable lead where now guys kind of took they were like, okay. And then we could start playing ball and we extended. And then obviously IQ took off from there. But if it's not for Brunson making that turn, I'm like, I don't know.
Nah, I hear you. So, I think Brunson, Brunson definitely made some, he made some big hustle plays, like we were mentioning. He's always making big shots down the stretch. Early in the season, it was a little like, what's going on? But normally he's making big shots down the stretch. I felt like IQ, like during that moment that you mentioned, Ron, and some other moments, I felt like he kept the Knicks there. Not they were in the game because they had the lead, but moments where Washington was trying to make a push, I felt like IQ would come up with a big play. Right, he'd come up with a big shot. You know what I mean?
Hey, and, somebody in the chat, when I was talking about Brunson diving for the ball, they was like, IQ dived first. He just missed.
He did. He didn't get the ball, went out of bounds, but he almost made a big play.
That play. Yes, I do remember that.
That play. Yeah, that play right there.
I thought he meant the same play, but nice. Yeah, there you go.
But Ron said, and man, Captain Clutch.
Yeah, and if Quickly had made that steal and kept it in bounds, then I would have gave him the play.
Yeah, right. Ron said it was Captain Clutch, ladies and gentlemen. So I had to bring Captain Clutch back, and you can see the back of the hoodie, right? The hoodie's a little bit different. The comic is on the back. On the front of the hoodie, it says Brunson, and then on the hood, it says number 11, and then you can see the NBK logo, the print jurisdiction logo. It has Captain Clutch down the arms. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's go check it out.
That's a smoke show, ladies and gentlemen. That is a smoke show. I mean, fire. There should be fire up the sleeves. That joint.
Yeah, and when you get your shirt, when you get your hoodie, make sure you post it. You know what I mean? Tag NBK.
Tag NBK. Tag Brunson. Put Captain
There you go.
Clutch.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Tag Brunson.
And I'm gonna send one to Josh Hart, because Josh Hart, Brunson's not gonna wear a shirt with his name on it, besides his jersey. Josh Hart will wear a shirt with Brunson's name on it. You know what I'm saying?
Eating chicken wings in the press conference.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send one to Josh. See if we can get some pub.
Yeah, I can't wait. Definitely, like as Sim said, get your pre-orders going, man.
No doubt about it. Printjurisdiction.com, ladies and gentlemen. There's a link in the description of the video. There's also a link tagged to your YouTube chat. Caller, you're live. I believe it's Spree on the line.
Sim, I may have lost my voice. I was there.
You was at the game.
Yeah, did you? I yelled MVP chants for Mitchell Robinson the first time he was at the line. You may not have heard it, but Steve Hopper tweeted it out. I started it, and I got a lot of weird looks, but they don't understand how he's playing. So I started that. I don't know. Did you hear the "Let's Go Knicks" chants in the
Yes.
2 times in the? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, I started that one too.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't know, Spree is serious about starting these chants. I was at a game with him. Spree gets busy on starting chants, ladies and gentlemen. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to motivate Jalen and Julius to get it going. But to be honest, look, it wasn't the most perfect game. I wanted to really apply pressure on them. I never felt threatened. We did some mistakes, but they felt the love, Sim. They felt the love from the crowd, and I want them to feel good. I want them to feel loose when they're on the road, because there's a lot of Knicks fans in D.C., and I wanted that known. So I was happy they got a good look. I want to just say a couple things. The camaraderie on the bench is really good right now, Sim.
Okay.
I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
R.J. Barrett is in the game, even though he's not playing. He's watching the game. He's invested. He's talking. There's good vibes around the team. I think I also want to say this. I liked what DiVincenzo brought tonight. I thought he did a really nice job playing off people. Brunson is what he is. He's great. What was your key? I haven't been listening, but do you have like 1 or 2 key takeaways for you? How do you feel?
I think my key takeaways from the game is just the overall team play. That's probably my biggest takeaway. The overall team play, the way that they controlled and took over the game in the fourth quarter. I've been just wanting superb fourth quarter execution from the Knicks, and they delivered tonight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Took over the game in the fourth quarter. That's big for me. And they've been doing it. They've been executing better. But that's something this team has to do in order to go to another level.
I still think Quickly can do that. There are times where I feel like Quickly's playing 1-on-5 and it's working, because he's such a gifted scorer. But there are also times when, I think Quickly can give it up a little bit earlier and get it back. I don't know. It was interesting watching it live. Sim. One other thing I just want to say. Watching Mitchell I spent 8 minutes of the game, Sim, just watching Mitch on defense and just watching him do what he does live in person. I know watching it on TV, I knew this, but just he makes up for everything, and he's such a force that he alters everything, Sim. It's just incredible watching him live right now.
Yeah, he does.
To me, the most fun, besides Brunson, because he's so gifted, but watching a basketball game live with this team right now, Mitchell Robinson to me is just incredible. Just the force that he is, Sim. He's different. He's even more it's like the Cleveland playoff series, but he's doing it every game. That's all I got, man. I just wanted to check in with you. I was there, man. I wanted to spread the love. I think they got it, and hopefully we'll do this again.
January
in a couple
5th,
months.
January 6th. January 6th.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm trying to do some group tickets.
Okay.
For that game. I've already spoke to them, so I'm gonna, start sending out that information as soon as possible.
I'm there, Sam.
Spree,
No
I
doubt.
just wanted to let you know we did when I was watching the watch along. We heard the MVP chants. We heard them saying Allen, Houston, and then we heard the MVP chant. So yeah, okay,
Did you
we
hear
got
that? Oh man, wait, which MVP chant, to Brunson or to Mitch? The Mitch was the first foul of the game,
No,
and people were thinking I was nuts.
No, the Mitch ones. We heard the Mitch ones.
You heard the Mitch? Oh wow, okay, that's special to me because I wanted to come into the game. I wrote it on Twitter. I'm being honest. I said it a week ago. I said, guys, I want Mitch to get some love on this team. I need to, even if he misses the free throw, that's not what it's about. It's like acknowledging how great he's been playing. It has nothing to do with points.
Right.
Has nothing to do with points. He has been unbelievable, and I'm glad you heard it. I'm glad he got the love.
Man,
that's all I got.
Appreciate it, Spree. Have a good one,
all
man.
All right, man.
Be easy.
Peace.
All right. Big shout out to Saul. I don't know if it's Saul or Saul Hashim, but I appreciate you. Thank you for the Cash App. He said, Sim, Tony, Ron in the building with the best takes. And no doubt about that. We're going to give you the best takes, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. We're going to jump into the Losers Lounge, maybe 15 minutes or so. All right, so look for that notification. And yeah, we'll talk about, I don't know how many fans the Wizards actually have, but we'll talk about whatever they was talking about. All right. You know what I mean? Any last words? Tony, any last words before we get out of here?
Always a pleasure, man. And yeah, I'll see y'all in a few minutes.
Actually, just really, really quick. Any thoughts on tomorrow's game? Just quick.
That's actually I feel like they're a team that's also improving, even though we just beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm encouraged by our team. So I don't think we take them lightly. I don't think we don't say, oh, we just beat them, let's beat them again. I think they're looking at, Tibbs is always looking at how other teams are playing. So I'm not really worried about him. I feel like we'll win. It's a win. I'll take the dub.
Any thoughts, Ron?
I'm not that concerned about them. I think we'll win as well. I do think that tomorrow's game may be similar to tonight's game, where it's not going to be like a beginning to end blowout type. Charlotte might hang in that game because they do have some firepower over there, especially with Bridges being back now.
Right.
And I don't think he finished with like 17 points, but he had like 11 or 12 in the first quarter, so he got off hot. But more importantly, LaMelo is still playing really good ball because he had another 30 tonight. So, just got to watch him because we had nothing for him the last time we played him. He was the one guy that got whatever he wanted. Well, outside of the young rookie who got hurt. But yeah, I think we just got to continue to do exactly what they did tonight. Just keep playing the game, get through whatever runs they go on, stay close, or even, keep the lead or whatever, and then get into that fourth quarter and just pull away.
Yeah. What's his name? Bridges. His last season in the league, he gave Julius Randle fits when they played.
I was gonna mention that as well. Yeah,
he gave him fits. So he made it tough for the Knicks to match up against them. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow night. What time is the game? 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a game preview. I'm taking my girls to see Notre Dame versus Illinois women's basketball game. That game starts at 1. We'll finish at 3. We'll probably start practicing around 4:30, and we'll finish up by 6:30. So I'll get home and see. I'll probably see the game from the second quarter on, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get in a game preview because from 9 to 12 or 9 to 11:30, I've got to conduct the training. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit one in. Yeah. So, but I will be on the post-game show. No doubt about it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here. We appreciate your time. All right. Please support the channel. Cash App is $ nothing but Knicks. PayPal is paypal.me/nothing but Knicks. Make sure you go check out the shirt pre-orders, the Captain Clutch shirt pre-orders, Jalen Brunson Captain Clutch. Go check them out. Put your pre-orders in. I think you'll get them in like 2 to 3 weeks. All right, they're premium shirts. They're good shirts, nice shirts. Print jurisdiction. You do a nice job. You're not getting a Fruit of the Loom or a Hanes shirt. Nothing wrong with those shirts. I'm just saying that's not what you get. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Catch us in about 15 minutes on the Losers Lounge. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.